Imagine if I told you that 1 hour could completely change the direction of your life. Not 1 year, not 1 month, just 1 hour. The hour before the rest of the world wakes up. Every morning while most people are still asleep, some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs, athletes, CEOs, writers, and leaders are already investing in themselves. They're not doing it because waking up early is magical. They're doing it because the early morning gives them something that the rest of the day never can: complete control over their time, their thoughts, and their future. The truth is, your morning often determines your entire day, and your days eventually determine your life. Today, we're going to explore the incredible power of waking up at 6 a.m., why this simple habit has transformed millions of lives, and how you can make it work for you, even if you're not naturally a morning person. Stay until the end, because I'll also share a practical 6 a.m. routine that anyone can follow starting tomorrow. Let's begin. For many people, mornings begin with chaos. The alarm rings. You hit the snooze button. 5 minutes become 20. You jump out of bed already late. Your phone is the first thing you look at. Emails, notifications, social media, bad news. Before you've even brushed your teeth, your mind is already occupied by other people's priorities. From that moment on, your entire day becomes a reaction instead of a creation. You spend the day responding to work, answering messages, solving problems, attending meetings, and handling responsibilities. By evening, you're exhausted. You tell yourself tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow arrives, and the same cycle repeats. This isn't because you're lazy. It's because you've never taken ownership of the first hour of your day. The first hour after waking is like the foundation of a building. If the foundation is strong, everything built upon it becomes stronger. If the foundation is weak, cracks begin to appear throughout the structure. That's why 6 a.m. matters. Not because the clock says 6, but because waking intentionally before the demands of life begin gives you the opportunity to invest in yourself first. Successful people often share one common characteristic: they protect their mornings. Apple CEO Tim Cook reportedly starts his mornings before dawn. Michelle Obama has spoken about exercising early before family responsibilities begin. Many best-selling authors write before sunrise. Athletes train while others sleep. It isn't about showing off discipline. It's about protecting uninterrupted time. Morning hours contain fewer distractions, fewer emails, fewer phone calls, less noise, more clarity. Your brain is also operating with fresh mental energy after sleep. Scientists have found that willpower functions much like a battery. As the day progresses, decision fatigue increases. Every decision you make slowly drains your mental resources. By evening, it's much harder to focus, learn, or make important choices. Morning gives you your highest mental capacity. That is why the most meaningful work should often happen before breakfast. But waking at 6 a.m. alone won't transform your life. You could wake early and spend 2 hours scrolling social media. Nothing changes. The transformation comes from intentional habits. Think of 6 a.m. as an empty canvas. How you paint it determines your future. Every successful morning routine usually includes several important elements. The first is movement. After hours of sleep, your body needs activation. Even 10 or 15 minutes of stretching, walking, yoga, or light exercise increases blood flow and signals your brain that it's time to become alert. Exercise also releases endorphins that naturally improve your mood. Instead of beginning the day stressed, you begin energized. Your body becomes your ally instead of your obstacle. The second habit is silence. Modern life is incredibly noisy. Our minds are constantly bombarded with information, but silence creates clarity. Whether through meditation, prayer, breathing exercises, or simple reflection, spending even 10 minutes in silence helps calm the nervous system. It allows your thoughts to settle. Instead of reacting emotionally throughout the day, you become more intentional. Many great decisions aren't made during busy meetings. They're made during quiet moments. Silence gives your mind space to think deeply. The third habit is reading. Leaders are readers. Every book contains years of someone else's experience. When you read for 20 minutes every morning, you're learning without having to make every mistake yourself. Imagine reading just 20 pages a day. That equals more than 7,000 pages each year. That's dozens of books, thousands of ideas, hundreds of life lessons. Knowledge compounds just like money. Small investments every day eventually produce extraordinary returns. Another powerful morning habit is journaling. Writing your thoughts creates mental clarity. Instead of carrying worries inside your head, you transfer them onto paper. Many people write 3 things they're grateful for. Others write their goals. Some write lessons learned from yesterday. Some simply write whatever comes to mind. Journaling isn't about perfect writing. It's about organizing your thinking. Clear thinking leads to better decisions. Better decisions create better lives. Planning your day is another game changer. Most people spend more time planning vacations than planning their daily lives. Before the world starts demanding your attention, decide what truly matters today. Ask yourself one simple question. What are the 3 most important things I must accomplish today? Not 20 tasks. Not 50. 3. Completing those 3 priorities creates momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds consistency. Consistency changes lives. One reason the 6 a.m. habit is so powerful is because it teaches discipline. Discipline isn't punishment. It's freedom. Every time you wake up when you promised yourself you would, you strengthen your self-trust. You prove to yourself that your words matter. Confidence doesn't come only from success. Confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. Each morning becomes another vote for the person you're trying to become. Over time, your identity changes. You stop saying, "I'm trying to become disciplined." Instead, you begin believing, "I am disciplined." Identity always drives behavior. Of course, waking up at 6 a.m. isn't easy, especially in the beginning. Your bed feels warm. The room is quiet. Your brain starts negotiating. Just 5 more minutes. But those 5 minutes often become 30. The secret isn't relying on motivation. Motivation disappears. Systems remain. Go to bed earlier. Place your phone away from your bed. Prepare tomorrow's clothes the night before. Know exactly what you'll do after waking. Reduce decisions. Make the right choice easier than the wrong one. The simpler the system, the easier it becomes to stay consistent. It's also important to understand that 6 a.m. itself isn't magical. If your work requires night shifts, or if your health makes early mornings difficult, forcing yourself to wake at 6 may not be wise. The real principle is protecting uninterrupted time for yourself before the demands of the day take over. For many people, that happens naturally around 6 a.m. For others, it may be earlier or later. The goal isn't chasing a specific number on the clock. The goal is building a consistent routine that supports your health, productivity, and long-term goals. Now imagine 2 versions of the same person. The first wakes at 7:45 a.m., rushes to get ready, skips breakfast, checks social media, feels stressed, arrives at work already mentally exhausted. The second wakes at 6 a.m., exercises, reads, reflects, plans the day, enjoys breakfast peacefully, begins work with clarity. Both people have the same 24 hours, but one begins with intention, the other begins with reaction. After 1 day, the difference is small. After 1 month, it's noticeable. After 1 year, it's dramatic. Tiny daily habits become massive life results. Success rarely comes from one giant decision. It usually comes from thousands of small choices repeated consistently. Let's look at a simple 1-hour morning routine. From 6 to 6:10, wake up, hydrate, and avoid checking your phone. From 6:10 to 6:25, stretch or exercise. From 6:25 to 6:35, meditate, pray, or practice gratitude. From 6:35 to 6:50, read a personal development or educational book. From 6:50 to 7 o'clock, write your goals and plan your top priorities for the day. 1 hour, just 60 minutes, 365 times a year. That becomes 365 hours invested directly into becoming a better version of yourself. Very few investments produce that kind of return. Remember, transformation doesn't happen overnight. The first week may feel uncomfortable. The second week becomes easier. By the third week, your body begins adjusting. Within a few months, waking early starts feeling natural. Eventually, you'll notice something surprising. You won't just miss sleeping in. You'll miss the peaceful mornings that make you feel focused, energized, and in control. That's when the habit has truly become part of who you are. The power of 6 a.m. isn't found in the clock. It's found in the decision to place your growth before the world's distractions. Every sunrise offers a fresh opportunity, a chance to learn, to improve, to become stronger, to move one step closer to the life you want. Remember this: the life you dream about isn't built in dramatic moments. It's built in ordinary mornings. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm rings at 6 a.m., don't think about how tired you are. Think about who you're becoming. Because every great life is simply the result of great habits repeated every single day. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a fresh start. Thank you for watching, and remember, your future begins with the choices you make tomorrow morning.